Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new here or don't already know, I try to support everything I talk about with video or post for accuracy. So please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button and that notification bell, comment, and share to all social media platforms. Now, on to the story. Hey y'all, here's a recap of what happened last year. Friday night's Christmas tree lighting downtown turned into a massive teen melee. From what I've seen all over the internet and news, the teens took over a beautiful and traditional event. From what I understand, the teens showed up and eventually started jumping on cars, dancing in the street, obstructing traffic, and countless other infractions. I don't get it. I understand that this was not late in the evening, so it wasn't like they were out after hours, but geez, can families come and enjoy the tradition without extreme chaos being caused by hundreds of teens? I'm just saying, it looks like police were ready for the usual conditions, but the addition of hundreds of rowdy teens was almost too much for them to handle. There were endless fights and teens dancing on Friday night. However, on Saturday night, there was another teen trend and a 19-year-old woman was shot. Y'all, I'm praying that these kids get their act together. A woman was shot in the Loop on Saturday evening as large crowds filled the area to celebrate the start of the holiday season. An individual is being questioned. Chicago police officers were maintaining a significant presence in the Loop following the annual Festival of Lights and Friday's lighting of the city's official Christmas tree at Millennium Park. Shortly after 9 p.m. Saturday, some of those officers reported hearing gunfire at the corner of State and Washington. They soon found a 19-year-old woman with a gunshot injury. She ran into Macy's at 111 North State for safety after being shot in her upper right leg while standing outside the store on Washington Street, officials said. Cops found shell casings at 6 West Washington on the opposite side of State Street from the store. Witnesses said the shooter was with a group of people who appeared to be juveniles. After the shooting, witnesses spotted them boarding a Blue Line train towards O'Hare. At about 9:46, officers recovered a firearm and detained a person of interest in the shooting near the intersection of Western and Warren on the near west side. However, authorities have yet to announce any charges. Did that sound familiar? Another mass shooting has hit Chicago right after the annual tree lighting ceremony and Festival of Lights downtown. This is a big deal for families here. They bring their children to see the holiday lights and enjoy the market where you can sip hot chocolate, buy ornaments, mugs, etc. But yet again, the teens have destroyed a holiday tradition with Mayhem. The teen trends are a part of the reason that our downtown area has suffered along with other crimes. This time, hundreds of teens were downtown for the meetup. Several fights broke out, resulting in injuries and a death.
The majority of the people who came here to have a good night with their families, to see the tree in Millennium Park, to go get some mulled wine, some candied nuts at Chris Kindle Market, look at the windows, enjoy Christmas. Unfortunately, the Loop is covered in crime scene tape. It really is hard to see, hard to fathom that just the juxtaposition of the joy of the holiday with flashing police lights, crime scene tape right here in the Loop. It was noticeable right here in front of the Walgreens, right at the corner. That's where they were working on one victim right when we got here. And then a little further down, that's where a second victim was. There's an entrance to the State Street Red Line that goes down right there. That's where we saw two just from where we were rather. It was chaotic first few moments of the scene, but we kept seeing paramedics bringing out victims in wheelchairs, then transferred to stretchers, and then worked on in those ambulances. And at least 4 people here, again, that spokesperson with the Chicago Police Department says a minimum of 6, and that number could rise. That is just what they have at this moment. Along with these people, the victims rather, a Chicago police officer, at least one Chicago police officer, according to Alderman Brian Hopkins, is being treated for injuries tonight. So this was chaotic. We have seen fights. To your point, our crew did see a number of fights throughout the Loop before the shooting happened. So there was a lot of people, obviously, Chicago Police Department doing their best to keep things under control, but there was a lot of people here. There was a lot of elements, a lot of the potential was there for something to happen. Charlie, spokesperson for the Chicago Police Department, about a half hour ago, that's when we were here at this scene, again, right by the Walgreens at Randolph and State. As we were here, I had a conversation with him, trying to get some preliminary information. We were talking, and as that happened, there was another shooting that broke out just down the street on Dearborn here, Dearborn and about Adams.
According to updated reports, 9 people, including one who was killed, were shot during widespread disruptions in the Loop after the city's annual Christmas tree lighting brought large crowds downtown on Friday evening. Most of the shooting victims are children too young to drive. Most of the injuries occurred around 9:50 p.m. in a mass shooting outside the Chicago Theater in the 100 block of North State Street. Officers were already patrolling the area when they saw a large crowd fighting on the sidewalk. As they approached, they heard gunfire and saw people running in all directions. Officers moved in and found 7 wounded children who were shot along State Street from the theater towards Randolph Street. A preliminary description broadcast by an officer described the shooter as a black male about 5 feet 8 inches tall, wearing a tan Carhartt jacket, a white or gray sweater, black skinny pants, and white tennis shoes. He was last seen running east on Lake Street. CPD said the victims were juveniles between 13 and 17 years old. EMS transported them from the scene to area hospitals. A 13-year-old girl with a gunshot wound to the leg listed in fair condition at Lurie Children's Hospital. A 14-year-old boy shot in the leg listed in good condition at Lurie's. A 14-year-old boy with a graze wound to the stomach listed in good condition at Lurie's. A 14-year-old girl with a gunshot wound to the right hip listed in good condition at Lurie's. A 15-year-old boy with a graze wound to the left thigh listed in good condition at Stroger. A 16-year-old boy with a gunshot wound to the leg listed in good condition at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. A 17-year-old boy with a graze wound to the left thigh listed in good condition at Stroger. Videos posted to social media showed officers treating victims on the sidewalk outside of a Walgreens at State and Randolph, while others knelt beside additional victims closer to the Chicago Theater marquee. The violence did not end there. At about 10:37 p.m., officers in the Loop reported hearing another round of gunfire only a few blocks south. They traced the shots to the 100 block of South Dearborn and found 2 victims at the scene. One of the victims, an unidentified male, was pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. As of Saturday morning, authorities had not yet released his age or identity. The second victim, an 18-year-old man, had a gunshot wound to the leg and was taken to Northwestern in serious condition. Police said he was unable to provide details about what happened. Alderman Brian Hopkins wrote on social media soon after the initial shooting that 300 juveniles were rioting in the Loop, adding that multiple officers had been injured by attackers armed with mace and stun guns. He said at least one officer required hospitalization. A source familiar with the response said officers recovered several firearms and made multiple arrests as fights and disturbances erupted across the Loop. The situation became so busy that local police districts' lockup reached capacity, forcing officers to transfer adult arrestees to a neighboring station. As of early Saturday, police had not released an official number of arrests or charges. Parents, pay attention to where your kids are. Take back your authority over them. All this reckless behavior will not only get them in trouble, but is a part of the reason for the senseless killing. Y'all stay safe out there while trying to enjoy the holiday season, and hit me in the comments with your thoughts. Later, y'all.
It's the introduction of the one and only. We keep it real over here, we don't rock with phonies. It's the one and only NC, other bloggers envy. Content full of drill legends out the wind deep. CHI, young fly chick, been about that PAY from DAY. One, top mod on big channels. If a nigga need his nose wiped, she quick to get that shit handled. Now tune in to the realest chick making moves. Real stories, updates, and breaking news. NC, yeah. Now y'all go subscribe. Especially if you from the rack, go support your girl. Oh yeah, my home girl, the one and only NC.